Good afternoon. This is Jenny Gee coming to you from our parking lot and our recycle bins. And we are at finally our last, there it is, our last stop on our little walking tour around the church as far as our Climate and Faith series. And this one is all about recycling. So I have all kinds of like facts and figures, and things are always changing, and there's always, maybe less newspapers being printed and more going online and things like that. So things are always changing. But as you can see from the bins behind me, and we went from having these 2 bins to having 3 bins, and they're full. They've been full. They get emptied on Thursday, so hopefully this Thursday when they get emptied, you'll be able to bring up some of your things. And I'm even seeing, and this is going to be a problem if it rains, and it's supposed to rain later today. Please don't leave things outside of the bins. They need to be covered and dry when the folks come to pick them up. But what is all this about recycling paper? I know there's a lot of arguments about how recycling costs more money than it does to just landfill something. And while that may be true in some regards, that's a very short, it's a very short answer for what recycling actually does, because recycling creates a lot of jobs. It also saves a lot of energy when the product is then used instead of raw materials being used to make new cans, new glass bottles, new paper products. It saves a ton of energy, and it also saves up a lot of that landfill space. So while for item by item, to take it to a dump or to take it and recycle it may be more, in the long run, it is more cost effective in a lot of ways, and with job creation and adding to the economy in that way. So keep that in mind, instead of if you have heard that it's just really expensive and it's not being done. Now it's not being done, and with a lot of paper, we're seeing even our River Valley, or whoever it is now that we have, it says River Valley on there, so I'm guessing that's still them. They have actually pulled a few of their bins from different places because of the cost associated with drivers and having outlets for the paper. But if those sorts of things could be worked out, it's so well worth it. I'm sorry, I'm putting my hand there. It's just so well worth it. So, but what about recycling paper? So I have some things, and I was just grabbing my little piece of paper here so I could read from them. What it says is, if you were to take the 500,000 trees that it takes, it takes about 500,000 trees, to make the Sunday newspaper for all the Sunday newspapers. 500,000 for one Sunday. If you were to recycle, though, one day's production of the New York Times, you'd save 75,000 trees. If you were to recycle all the newspapers that are printed in a year, that would save 250 million trees. And so taking it down kind of into our numbers, we have been recycling with these bins since 2017. And we, on the average, now have about 7,500, 7,600, close to 8,000 pounds of paper that get picked up. We were just calculating, if you take the years we've been doing it, multiplied by the months, by the amount of paper that's been picked up, we have saved 5 million trees. And that's about 588,000 pounds of paper that has been picked up here. 588,000 pounds of paper that have been picked up here in this lot of Brecksville United Methodist Church over these past 7 years. So that's pretty impressive. And like I said, 5 million trees that accounts for. And that is enormous. And you think of, if you look at our bins too, you'll see a lot of cardboard, a lot of corrugated cardboard gets recycled. And that's super important too, because you think of how much cardboard, and the numbers for that were just kind of mind-boggling to me as far as how much cardboard is produced every day. And much of it is recycled, which is good. A good percentage of it. But if you're not recycling your cardboard, if you're just throwing it into the trash, rethink that and make a decision to save that energy, to save the oil and the fossil fuels that are used for productions in factories. I'm walking because I want to take you to another location at church and show you something that's really pretty cool. And I'm going to shift from talking about paper to talking about cans. Okay, so if you have a can of whatever, seltzer, and you recycle it, they say it could be just simply a 2-month turnaround from you recycling that can to that can being back on the grocery store shelf after being recycled, reformed, and put back. That's pretty impressive. If you just take that can and you throw it in the garbage, it would take about 500 years to break down. So 2-month turnaround, ton of energy used, saved, I should say. A ton of energy is used to make a new can. So much less energy is used to recycle a can. And they estimate that there are about 80 billion cans used yearly worldwide. So think about the difference of those cans being from recycled material, already mined aluminum, and just being reformed, or having to mine that aluminum and create a new can each time. There's really no comparison, right? So we have something, this is what I'm walking to show you, that I think you're going to love. We have a new cross in the churchyard, and it is made out of recycled aluminum from tire rims. I'm going to turn my camera around and show you. Isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful. It weighs about 200 pounds. It took about 20 tire rims to make it. And when I'm moving in here real careful or close, is you can actually see like the pound marks and whatever he used to make this. We had a gentleman reach out to us, and he makes these crosses for churches that are reconciling. And he came up to the Cleveland Clinic, and he was in the area, and he saw that we were a reconciling church, and he reached out to us and offered to make this for us. And it was just installed yesterday. I'm going to get this camera off of me and onto the cross because it is so incredibly beautiful. It will be here for us to see when we have our outdoor worship on the front lawn, and it'll just stand in this place. It's so gorgeous. And that just really speaks to this Brecksville United Methodist Church in so many different ways. In our commitment to recycle here, it's a recycled piece of art, and to our commitment to be open and affirming and welcoming to all. And that is what the artist had on his heart as he was offering that to us. So when you're here Sunday, even if you come for 10:30 service and you're inside, please take a step out the front doors and take a look at it. You will be very impressed. And just think about how beautiful it is when we can take something that we're using and recycle it, reuse it, and save the energy, save the landfill space, and save. It's not that inconvenient for us, so let's just make a commitment to care for God's planet and be recycling, reusing, and reducing our waste. Hope you have a great week. Hope to see you Sunday.